Welcome to one more session of Beyond the Code. Today with a very special guest. But before getting to our guest, so you can see Miguel and Armando and myself and our guest today. It's very special because, first of all, it's the first non-Portuguese guest, so our first international guest. It's our second lady, and here we have Imelda. So, Imelda, please, very much welcome, and
Welcome.
Hello.
well, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, you're calling. First of all, you're calling from all the way from.
And
Oh, by the way, we were warned that the connection was not
Yes.
very good, so please expect. So just for everybody to know,
We're all
for
dying of
today
anticipation.
only. Okay, for today only, the technical difficulties banner is not a joke. Okay,
Can
it
happen.
actually
Can happen.
applies to today's stream. So we are likely to face technical difficulties, either with not so good internet connections or Miguel speaking.
Yes, but that's always a standard. So, Imelda, you said in, and then you froze. So people are going like, India.
okay.
In where?
You should continue the work for me, guys. Otherwise,
No.
why there are three of you there? If you
I'm
guys
just a
help me with
placeholder.
the plan.
I'm just a placeholder.
There's a template.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, so I thought, Ruben, I just need a minute to introduce myself. So, hello. My formal name is Imelda Nugraha, but
We lost her again.
Those goddamn sharks, they are eating the cables all the time.
Okay, so I think we should let. Okay, what?
oh,
Wait.
okay.
Oh,
you're
oh,
back.
Let me switch to the carrier connection in that case, maybe.
okay, okay.
To 3G, right?
But actually,
Uh-huh.
guys, do you know that sharks are a major cause for problems in internet connection? Because they are attracted by the underwater cables.
Okay.
So the great thing about these days is actually my daughter walked up to where I'm actually doing the broadcast, and she's also having something. All right,
She
let's
wants
try
to
with
say
this
hello?
one.
No. Oh, I thought she was trying to say hello to all the viewers, like the three people beyond me watching the video. No, how is that possible? Okay, Ruben. While they sort out whatever
Yeah,
problems,
yeah.
what's up in Russia?
Well,
How's the
good
weather?
weather, a lot of people getting contaminated.
What's the
Not
definition
day-to-day
of
things.
good weather in Russia?
Actually, not that bad. It's like a blue sky with some clouds in St. Petersburg. It was a cloudy morning, but
It's
now,
like minus 50 degrees. Miguel, you're still mute, just by the way.
no, actually, it's maybe plus 6 or 7.
Plus 6 or so it's like shorts weather?
Almost.
I like your mug, okay.
Oh,
Oh, oh,
Imelda's
oh.
back. Oh,
Imelda
you're
is
back. Let's hope. Yes, you were saying yes. Your formal name is Imelda.
It's not work actually. It's not work with the carrier network. Sorry, guys. Google
It's okay.
Hangout bandwidth is not that
We'll just
good.
do whatever we
Okay,
can
so
with whatever we
yeah,
have.
and you can just introduce me while I'm not there connected. Actually, thought you again. There are three of you guys, so you can do more. Okay, Imelda Nugraha. Call me Lia, and I'm from Indonesia. That's all. 1 minute.
All right.
okay.
Well,
No,
I think we
no,
can do
you can
2
take some
minutes.
more minutes.
Yeah,
You can take some more minutes.
So our viewers, I'm not
So
sure
we
if our
already know
viewers
she's
know.
very efficient. We already know she's very efficient. We could use that in our program. Absolutely, it's a winner. It's a winner. So, but what's your story been so far? Professionally to this point. And I think you're muted, by the way. I think you're muted.
No.
No.
No, I'm not.
No. Okay.
No,
Okay. You're
I'm
good.
not.
Okay. You're good. You're good. Sorry.
Let's just stand. Everybody stand still.
so that
Yeah.
people think that is actually their connection.
Yeah.
But I was saying about sharks, they actually bite the cables.
Serious?
Yeah, yeah, because the cables they have the optic fiber, but
Okay.
they need to have repetitors every 100 kilometers, so they need have to have a power cable, and the
Hmm.
power that is injected is something like 100,000 watts in the end.
Yeah.
So they get
Let me
attracted, they
try
bite the
to
cables.
find a better network, maybe.
Okay,
We are sending our
Sure.
guest around.
Yes, yes.
so
Yes, yes. Another mural, another mural.
oh, oh, another thing about our guest, and that she will definitely tell us about it,
And
which
not in
is,
1 minute only.
and not in
Yeah.
1 minute for sure.
Those are the important questions.
Exactly. But before, you are based, so you are in Indonesia, in which city?
Jakarta is the capital.
Yeah.
Jakarta. Ah, okay, okay, okay. Cool. And how long have you been working with OutSystems?
It started 2017.
Okay, okay. So almost three
Not very
years.
long.
Okay,
Yep.
can we
And
start asking the real questions?
No, no, the guy's on the
What
floor.
is the
Let
real
him ask
question?
questions. He's doing a good job. Don't interrupt him now,
Oh,
Armando.
sorry.
okay, okay,
For
okay,
once, he's doing a good job.
okay. So Miguel actually started asking, and unfortunately we could not understand it. How did you get to OutSystems? Meaning you were working before as a programmer, or not really, and then you kind of discovered OutSystems. How did you get here?
Yes, so as long as I remember, I work in IT field. So as a programmer, software quality assurance, as a project manager, business analyst, and all of that stuff. And then that year, like 3 years ago, one of a college from the former company mentioned about this. Hey, there's something called OutSystem, and that's it. And then I'm curious because by that time I never have an experience to build anything for a mobile application because the Android Studio is very heavy
No, it's
and
not.
I don't really like to do the development with the very heavy. Oh, sorry if there's someone from the Android Studio stuff, but yeah, it was very heavy and I don't like it. When I want to compile, it's like minutes. I can leave the computer for sometimes and then yeah, yeah, that kind of stuff. So I tried the old system. I like the experience. I mean, it's very easy. Practically, you just need to download a single installer. You install it, and the next thing you know, you just follow the learning path, and then voila, I have my first mobile application. Yeah, that's the first encounter with old system. I like it very much.
So
But
you
so was
actually,
it the mobile side that moved you to there, or was it more generally the low code approach with the added benefit of mobile? I mean, were you very experienced on coding outside of mobility in other
Yes,
technologies? Okay.
yes. So yeah, basically, I never code anything for a mobile application, so it's the first time, and
Mhm.
it's very easy. And by the way, until now, I think I have never found any websites with the learning path very comprehensive as we have here in our systems. Kudos
Okay.
for them.
Nice one.
that's cool.
Sorry, I
That's cool.
interrupted Ruben. You had probably like a really cool question coming up.
No, actually, my question was a little bit like that, as in you immediately started with mobile, which is very interesting because in terms of not only the concepts and everything, it's much more complicated than just typically traditional web development or it's comparable to reactive web development nowadays. But mobile has much more things that are get it harder. So it was interesting that you actually started with a mobile application and
Mm.
you started with this project in your within your company or you did it for your own project and
Okay, to be honest, the first project I tried to build, it was to have an inventory system for my Gundam collections.
Which is a very good project.
Yes, yes.
Exactly.
So like,
Exactly.
okay, now I can have the inventory in mobile. I can make it as I like. So yeah, it was for a Gundam store that day. Yeah, but then once I knew this platform, then I try the web application. It is very easy as well. And then for sure, I try to share this platform to the company. It is a good thing because that year in our company, we our CEO has a vision that for now on we will have a technology driven for our business. So it's like a perfect match because with our system it's very fast. We can do the faster delivery than before. So yeah, the organization buy in with the platform. I think that's the reason they subscribe.
Okay, so can
Okay.
we?
So they were open. So it started with a personal project, and you thought, "Oh, this is pretty cool." But the company was in the right point that when you suggested it as a viable technology for them, they were also okay. They also kind of embraced it and took it on, right?
Yes.
Okay. And basically over there, did they focus on the mobility side on for the company side, or did they take the website?
I think both because the business units we have like multiple stores, multiple counters across the country. So as you know, we experience it today. The internet connection here in our country is not the best in the world.
We never
So
noticed.
Yeah. What a good time for the video to freeze. This is
So case in point.
yes. That's like the biggest example of show, don't tell.
All right, yeah. She'll be
Oh,
right
it's
with you,
back
folks. Oh, you're back. You're back. So you were talking about the internet connection as the
before it
internet went
froze.
down.
yeah, so that's the reason why we need the offline capability actually.
Okay, that's
Because
quite cool.
the 4G is not like countrywide, and also it's not everywhere, even in the building, in the office building. If you don't have like a network signal strengthener or repeater, it's not that good.
Okay. So I guess obviously then the offline in mobility is good, and I think this month was the offline of the PWAs was also rolled out, right, Ruben?
Yes. Yes, it was actually just a week ago
Or a week
or
ago, right?
something where actually PWA already supported some small set of use cases, but now the complete set was just released, meaning you can now build your mobile application to run in a browser, a PWA, as our
Mhm.
systems calls it, that has full offline functionality.
Okay.
Yes.
So Indonesia is safe again. So,
Does it
but
work? I have
But
yet to
yeah,
try.
one interesting thing that indeed motivated us to invite Imelda, and she graciously accepted is indeed I guess there are dynamics which are different and challenges which are different when you have a country like Indonesia and you have countries like Portugal or the Netherlands where I'm located. I mean, Portugal and the Netherlands are very small countries. They're kind of everything is quite close to each other.
So we are like a zip file?
Huh? They were like a zip file, like zip files, and also internet connection is a given. When you obviously look at Indonesia, which is a very sprawling country with lots of water, what is the dynamics of like day-to-day software development and companies when you have such a spread out country like yours?
Basically, even though we have like a spread out country, most of the business is located here in the Jakarta. And because the living cost and also the salary is higher here in Jakarta, nowadays most of the software developer house, they start to create another base camp for the developers in the smaller city. So you can pay with a what's that, Armando?
No, I'm just saying that people that open companies outside of the big centers are like visionaries.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so Indonesian are visionaries there. Oh, good to know.
Is a little bit of self congratulation over
No,
there from
no,
Armando.
no, no, no. Never, never.
Actually,
But your
that was
expressions say that.
yeah. Actually,
Expression.
in our group, we do have a new CEO. So
Which
Yes,
is
Armando is the boss. He's the
the
boss.
boss, he just
oh,
Not
started
like
the
you,
company
not like you, Miguel.
outside
Like,
of the city, outside
yay!
of the city.
Congratulations
No,
there.
I'm not the CEO, so I'm
no,
a
but
low rank
no, you're still the boss,
person.
and your employees are watching the podcast instead of being working. I'm just saying.
Yes, are they?
Yes,
Okay, please send me a log of people who are logged in because only I am
never.
entitled to be
I'm
doing
not a
nothing.
snitch.
They should be watching this offline in their own private time.
It's
Exactly.
lunchtime.
But again, Miguel, CEO now is not the top rank of the job, because nowadays CEO become the chief of everything. So it is down, down, down to the bottom part of the pyramid.
And now
And that
Miguel froze.
Yeah,
I can.
Yeah,
I'm back. I just went to Indonesia and came back.
that was fast.
yeah.
That's what
So,
a real
yeah, you
boss
see.
would do.
That's really, really nice. But can you elaborate a little bit? Because obviously your background, you're in a group where, for the most part, we're like just technical people. Well, originally, while you have a more diverse background, um, how do you see the dynamics of the importance of IT and the importance of the CEOs and so on change over the years?
No, it's just for you. The CEO is the bottom of the pyramid for now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's because of the
Just for Armando, because I'm not
Yeah,
even a
just for
CEO.
me, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's
But
because
that's
of the COVID. Because nowadays we have to survive, so everyone should do everything they can to be survive in this condition.
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly.
And yeah, but since Armando is the boss, that's why he gets two tiles on these on
Oh,
these
by the way,
broadcasts.
I've got an anonymous complaint that people
That
end working at 11:30 in the night.
people are not working
No, people are still working at
at 11 in the
11:30
night.
in the night. How?
Oh gosh.
How?
And whose
But
people is that?
No, you don't want to. I can say because I can say because well, I'm not
yeah,
a
you
snitch.
were probably people didn't authorize. Yeah. Okay, all
Well,
right.
but moving along, Imelda, how do you see the OutSystems community growing, gathering? I mean, are there many people using OutSystems nowadays in Indonesia? Many companies? What's your vision on that, or how do you feel it?
Okay, so basically, come again to that year that my first encounter with the system. When we encounter a new platform that you never heard of, we try to find someone to discuss with that, and we expect this person can have more perspective on the platform. It's very difficult to find one in Indonesia that day. So fortunately for me, I knew one people that he's already working in the company that already a client of OutSystem, that one company. So I met him to have his perspective to discuss. When we try to choose a platform for the company, it's not like okay, I like this one, so let's subscribe to this one. Not that way. We need to compare all the pros and cons, and so yeah, it's one of the concern that day because we don't have so many people not even know about our system, but to hear about this name is very uh,
Not well
not
known.
popular that day. Not well known. Okay, that's a better word. Okay, so yeah, basically after that one and the first time we are using our system in the company. By the way, for your information, I'm no longer working in that company, so I already moved to another company. Okay, so So that day when we work for the first time, first project, the second project, it's very difficult to work on the project because OutSystem is the platform that very good to work with when you have the agile methodology in your development cycle too.
Mhm.
But here, as far as I know, but maybe I'm not a representative of the whole Indonesia, but most of our developers, we are still using waterfall, or even though if we state it's an agile, basically it's a small waterfall, mini waterfall, it's not a pure agile. So we have to catch up with two things. First is the platform as the technology, and the second thing is the methodology how we work as a team, as a developer team. So yeah, those two issues. And a year later, it's still the same problem because we don't have any people that we can ask when we have a problem. Okay, so now we will talk a bit about the culture. So this is maybe the Asian culture. So basically, we are not an independent learner. Most of us not. So in a team, usually we have like people will be more comfort with a senior technical leader in the team physically, and if one of the team they face a challenge in technology, he just go to the technical leader and get a solution or a hint from him. But here we don't have that person. Now we don't even know how to hire one out system expert here, especially for the first 3 months, because that day we didn't know that actually as a client, there is a customer success program that we
I was
can
going to
utilize.
ask. Yeah, I was going to ask
Yeah,
about that. What could be missing?
yeah. In the first 3 months, we didn't understand about how to utilize that one. So it's like we try to reach out to our system from the portal and from the forum. But again, there is another challenge for most of us here because in either in the forum of or in the support portal, there's only one language there. It is the English language. And not all of our developers are comfortable to speak in English. And sometimes it's different if you do the conversation and if you want to have a discussion in a technical terms. It's very different one. So sometimes people are okay to have a daily conversation in English, but once they require to have a discussion for technical matters, they just like no, I cannot do that. So yeah, basically it's difficult time for us. So we left a lot of our team members that day, and then yeah, I tried to think it is not the way if we want to keep using this platform. And then the next year, I think May the next year, 2018, I attend one of the training. George was the trainer, so he's my mentor, Ocha. Okay, so in that training, I start to talk to people there. Like, we need to have it's not a formal organization, but we need a place to talk, to discuss in our own language actually, because if we want the discussion to be happen in English, we already have the forum, we already have the support portal, but we need to have our own language because it is one of the barrier for us to improve that day. So yeah, lucky for me that day we have George and Steven also from OutSystem uh, in that training. It was the advanced bootcamp training. And yeah, that's the first point. We we have our LinkedIn group, and then we continue with the meetup and all. Yeah, basically that day our vision is the as the software developers, our developers, they are not comfort with this platform because you leave the codes because you learn the low codes, and then their questions was, and what is the future for us? What if I leave this company? Is there a lot of companies using auth system in Indonesia? By that time, we are the fifth client in Indonesia, so the alternatives is very limited. If you leave the company and you want to go to other companies, which is the client of our system, you only have four alternatives that day.
Yeah.
It's not easy. So yeah, that's one of the challenge. But on the other hand, companies also worry to use the auth systems because once they use the auth system, there are not so many developers ready on the market. So
So it's
then,
a chicken and egg situation, right?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and now fast forward to the present. Is it
Mhm.
still the same, or the situation has improved or has
So,
changed somehow?
effectively, what were the constructs when you were able to, meet other people from like the same country with same language? What structures did you guys get in place to mitigate this now?
Okay, to be honest, not that good actually. It is not as smooth as we thought, to be honest. Okay, so once we have these meetup user groups, Ruben, you are also join in one of our channel in Telegram. We allow people to speak bahasa there, but as you can see, there are not so many interactions in the channel. And even though in the meetup, when we meet people in person, there are not so many questions there. Again, what we didn't consider before, there's another culture gap here. So not so many people like to raise their questions in public. So usually, instead of raising the questions to the Telegram channel, for instance, they will send the message privately to me, sometimes to George, maybe one day to one of you guys. So yeah, it's not as
Already
smooth
happened
as
to me.
we design. See? And no question on the channel, right?
Oh, yes, no question in the channel.
See, so there's another challenge for us because basically we want to have a very active channel. That day we only have a LinkedIn, and we know LinkedIn is not so. It's not a tool for us to do the chatting and reply to each other message. That's the reason we go to Telegram. But
And by the way, do you believe that the problem is that people don't want to expose themselves? So imagine if they could ask something completely anonymously, would it be would people be more comfortable?
I know where this is going.
think so. That's one of the reason we use Telegram actually because by using Telegram in Indonesia, WhatsApp chat is more popular than Telegram. But we know in Telegram, you don't have to reveal your identity basically. But not so many people here knew about that. So most of us, they just reveal the identity. And yeah, basically, uh, it will be the same with the WhatsApp because you need to reveal the identity.
I was just thinking out loud, and I was remembering that actually we could build a bot for Telegram that someone would ask the bot a question. The bot would actually ask the question in the channel, and everyone could answer to the question, not knowing who actually asked the question. Like anonymizing the questions. If that's why I was asking if that would be something that would help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could work. But again, this is my opinion. This is my opinion because we try some channels to have a more active channels, but it's not that good for now. So we try, and if that one we can try, I think, and see the impact.
Yeah,
If we
that
have
would
more
definitely be
voices there,
interesting. Yeah.
But
And
you also have meetups. So other than this channel like of Telegram where people can ask questions during like the whole week, you do have meetups. And how do obviously now they're obviously remote, I presume because of Corona. But on the day to day, was like, would you congregate somewhere? And because most people were from Jakarta, they could get there, or how did you? And how many people attended a normal meetup in Jakarta before the COVID thing?
Okay. Yeah. Usually we conduct the meetup every quarter, and we have around 30 to 40 people joining us for the meetup. Yeah, practically it's not easy. Most of us in Jakarta, yes, and that day we have someone from Yogyakarta. It's another city, another province actually. But in Jakarta, we have a lot of traffic jam. So one day, if you go here, you'll understand about that. So if you going back from office like in 5 or 6, you want to go to the meetup location, it may took like an hour and a half, or 2 hours at the very worst day.
yeah, actually, it's interesting. I remember reading an article where Indonesia, the usage of, I would believe, Twitter had like huge number of the usage peak would be actually at rush hours because people would be stuck in traffic for 2 hours, sometimes even 3 hours in traffic one way. So they would be just, well, using tweeting, learning things, or trying to do similar things.
Mhm.
And
Or
actually, yeah.
using the mobile.
Exactly. Actually, this brings me to one question that I have, which is how do you feel or how do you imagine that the change of capital, the build of a new capital will go? By the way, I'm not sure if you guys know, but Jakarta is one of the fastest sinking cities in the world. So the government has approved, I believe, last year to move Jakarta to Borneo, to another island.
Yes,
Uh,
but it's not because of the sinking issue.
it's not only
Oh,
because of
okay.
the
Let's.
okay,
This is the cultural part.
You
No,
mixed
no.
up two facts.
Tell
okay,
us
okay.
tell us about it. Tell us a little bit about it because I find this fascinating.
Which
Leah,
one? The sinking one or the capital city moved to another
well,
island?
both things. They're both new to me. I'm showing my profound ignorance on these matters. So.
Okay, so basically here in Jakarta, it's the capital city for the government, for the business, for everything. So a lot of people they try to move to Jakarta to have work, to stay here, uh, and then like in another part of Indonesia, they're not improving in the same rate with Jakarta because everything centralized here in Jakarta.
Mhm.
And then the traffic jam is, as Ruben said, like 3 hours and things. So it's not very effective. Like you will spend half of your day maybe in the traffic. So the reason, one of the reason, if we move the capital city to another island, we try to separate the government part and the business part. So Jakarta can be still the central for the business district, but maybe not for the government things.
Okay. Yeah,
And you know, Borneo is another island which not very
I think that what Leah was going to say is it's another island that is actually not very developed, and it has quite an exuberant forest with very many endangered species. I am sorry, I was just saying that.
I'm so glad we have someone cultured that can fill in for Leah when she's
but
away,
not
right?
the
Yeah.
dangerous species, but not well with the infrastructure. That is correct, totally correct. So like it's a long way to go because we have to prepare the infrastructure and all.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. And actually, now absolutely unrelated topic, which is tell us about Gundam. I mean,
Yeah, because we already noticed a few images of Gundam around your place,
And
and
our
your
viewers are asking about that.
yeah, and your profile, you have like Gundam behind you. So tell us a little bit.
Yeah, that's Gundam. Okay, so Gundam is the mobile suite that comes from the anime Japanese cartoon, and also the TV show. And basically, it's not a robot that can a live robot. It's not a live robot. It's a mobile suite, and there's a pilot on it. What else? I don't TV series. To be honest, I just like to build.
Okay.
Wait.
Eh?
What? Hmm. Was she going to
So-
say that she
so you-
doesn't like the TV show? She just likes
But
to.
you don't follow the TV show that much.
Yeah.
I think that's what
Yeah.
she was saying. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So Armando, you guys were not online while we were having this conversation, but Armando sort of asked, "Oh, is that Optimus Prime, which is obviously
Yeah.
a robot
Pro
and
tip-
not a battle
Pro
suit?
tip for everyone: if you see that, it's not Optimus Prime. Okay.
It's not Optimus Prime, please.
Neither
You know?
Transformers.
Don't be like Armando.
Don't be Armando. Yeah.
It's very insulting when you cannot differentiate Transformer and Gundam.
Yeah, that's probably like
It's
mixing
true, Armando.
DC and Marvel.
Wars. I think you could say it was the Power Ranger or something like that.
No, but yeah, that would
Could
be
be worse,
definitely
yes.
worse. That would be worse. But I actually can give you a pro tip while Leah is frozen, which is Gundam. It actually has a human inside, although it's a genetically modified human that has psychic powers to communicate with others on the
It's not
space.
that,
What?
the new type only. It's only the new type.
Only the new type. Okay.
Yeah,
and-
you follow the Gundam things now.
And another thing is actually the pilot is not in the head, but is in the chest. So
Like Power
and the
Rangers,
head is
right? No.
Power Rangers.
Yeah.
maybe.
Maybe.
Actually,
Look, I'm not as older or as old as you guys, but I still remember Power Rangers.
You know, my memory, I actually, you know, one of my favorite toys as a kid, like in 1637 in the year, was Mazinka Z, which was a different series, also with a giant. If you guys Google for it, I'm kind of telling this from the top of my head. It's been like 30, 40 years since I've said that name. So I hope it's something like Mazinga Z, which was
Yeah, it's
also
Mazinga. It's Mazinga.
Mazinga. Yeah, right,
Correct,
okay.
yeah.
So I there's definitely a lure for technology and giant robots or battle suits when you're a software engineer.
So you're saying you watch BattleBots?
I don't watch BattleBots.
I watch that sometimes. The battle bots.
Oh, should I be watching them?
Yeah, you have to.
Oh,
If you
By the way,
say-
Miguel, the Mazinger is now Bandai. Bandai is the company who
produced it? Yeah.
released
Bandai.
Mazinger as a model kit. So if you want to have a nostalgic model kit, you can buy the Mazinger.
Oh my God, I'm totally eating eBay now.
Okay, so I just want
Because
I just want to add something. Can I add something?
Please.
So a viewer that will never ever be invited to this show, okay, is saying that in Japan they have actually life-size Gundam statues.
I saw one in Tokyo.
There's only one.
Tokyo is in Japan, so that much.
I know, but Japan is not just Tokyo. What I'm saying is there could be others, but at least I saw one in Tokyo. I think I probably have a photograph somewhere.
The life-size Gundam is only one in Tokyo. In the other locations, it's not the life-size. It's like 1/6 maybe.
Have you visited the one in Tokyo, Leah?
Yes, for sure. Oh, not the latest one. They already replaced the iconic character, which is the RX-78 to, yeah, okay, it sounds something very, very geek. Okay, so they just replaced the very iconic character with the Unicorn Gundam like 2 or 3 years ago.
Unicorn.
So the one, if you see the current one now with the white, most of it white, is the Unicorn Gundam.
All right.
Okay,
Cool.
but what's the life size of that? I have no notion.
Uh, so
I can't remember. I was close to it, but it was really, really tall. The one in Tokyo.
so basically for each character, they have the technical specification. It's like a tech spec. So for the iconic one, RX 782 is like 18 meters. So that's the life size. For the current one, Unicorn is like 22 meters. So that's the life size.
And if you actually see the live one, I remember that because if you look at its feet, it has all the details. Like if it has like a code of the part number, as if it was actually something assembled. So you can see all these kind of details that you kind of associating it with Japan. So that's quite cool.
But actually, let's just go back just 1
Let's go
second.
back. Yeah, sorry. So interlude.
Are
Let's
you
go
going
back
to
to.
the unicorn part?
No, let's go to the
Yay,
OutSystems part.
Unicorn. We are not
Which-
having a podcast about Gundam today. I thought it was all about Gundam.
Oh yeah, we cheated you.
The wrong channel. I'm sorry.
We were open for a master class.
Yes, of Gundam.
Okay. Continue, guys.
So, but you were saying, I don't know if you, Ruben. So you were actually every quarter you can gather like around 30 people, right? And these do take place in the local language. So it's just 30 people from Indonesia, not people from Singapore or anything.
Most of the time we have guests from Singapore.
Okay.
When I mention guests, it's either George or Steven, which is part of our community
Who's
managers.
that
actually.
George? I don't know
Okay.
what George is.
The rest are locals.
Yeah. All right. Okay. But sorry, Ruben, you were saying you were going to ask something.
Actually, I was going to ask about Gundam, but since we are already talking about serious things again,
No, okay. So,
I will switch my expression to a serious one then.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
This is serious stuff.
Okay then. And no questions for the serious
No,
question.
I
was
went
not
to the
prepared
serious
for that.
question.
I was not prepared for that.
So what? Okay, so we're coming to the time where we need to kind of start thinking about winding down because people need to go either have dinner, lunch or
work.
go to bed
Or hit the
Or
head
whatever.
in the wall. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you see is the outlook of like OutSystems? What sort of growth path have you seen in the last 3 years for that region?
Okay, I think it's more popular now. And what I see lately is like a big company, a more established company. They are the ones who subscribe to OutSystems. Not sure if it's the same with your countries, but here for Indonesia, the subscribe license price is not that affordable. Can I say that? Yeah, it will be relative. I mean, as a sales guy, you will always say like, depend on the ROI, depend on the potential loss and all.
This is not a sponsored podcast, so
You can go ahead and tell us your mind.
Okay, so basically it's expensive for me, for some companies in Indonesia. So maybe, and also we need to pay on annual basis, right? Because it's a subscribe. It's not just one time. So I think if the license model is not changing in a short time, the next clients will be just an established company. So yeah, depend on how a system wants to be grow here in Indonesia. I mean, they targeting the big companies only, or they want it to be like more to the mediocre company, because if it's only targeting the big company for now, not so many people will be triggered to learn it for the developers. The competition to be hired with the company, these big companies is not easy. So if we are talking about most of the developers, and we want them to be encouraged to learn our system, I think this platform should be implemented in more companies, not only the biggest companies in Indonesia. Otherwise, it's like far to reach. Otherwise, not so many developers will be encouraged to learn. And then, yeah, not sure. We will be back to the square one again. Like companies using the OS system, but there's not so many developers ready in the market.
Exactly.
Yeah, but what a good thing is, hopefully this plan will be. I don't know with the plan. Maybe we should check with our system. But that day we try to have our systems to have a cooperation with the university here.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of having like the experienced developers learning our system, it's not easy because yeah, again, if I'm a developers, I used to do programming and now I have to leave all the programming language I learned before. It's not easy. So it will be better if the one who learn autism is the one who nowadays in the university, and once they graduated from the university, they're like the fresh batch that ready for autism.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And and
Yeah,
and
hopefully.
and by the way, also related with that, which is of course the lack of people with experience within Indonesia at the moment. They have your group of people that are some still learning, other more experiences like yourself. So how hard would be for us, like for us, three of us, to move to Indonesia?
Yay! Depend on how much you want to be paid.
That's a very good point. And I
Fair
think
enough.
that's a
Fair enough.
great bombshell for us to end here. Yes, I made the top 2
Yeah, I
of
think
this.
so. We need to do the maths now offline, guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what a good things is this platform enable all of the developers to collaborate from many places, right? So you guys can do the project from either country, Netherlands, Portugal, Russia, whatever.
Yeah.
We are only
Wow.
dependent on the
Sounds
connection.
good. Yeah, we're only dependent on the connection. Exactly.
Okay, let me tell you a story about the connection. This is a real story about the connection. So the day after we understand about the customer success program, and we have like a weekly sync up meeting with our CSE. It's one of it's my favorite CSE in Singapore. His name is Bharat Kumar. Hi Bharat, if you watch this. Okay, so uh, we have a problem with the media streaming. Yeah, with the connection, media streaming is not going well, right? And then it's like, okay, so if I open this page, it's blank. I don't want the page to be blank. I want there is like maybe some, I don't know, animation maybe on the page. It's just I don't want people go to the page and it's blank and this person just have no idea. It's loading, it's frozen or everything. Okay, so he said, no, the page is works well. No, it's not. There's nothing in the page. We already tested and everything works well. Until that day, we let him see the application using our connection. So he remotes to our infrastructure and try the connection from our country. And then, okay, so that's one of the problem. So guys, again, with this cloud platform, there's another problem because we rely heavily on the connection.
Yeah. So
And
kids,
this is
remember at
also
home. Remember at home.
and this is
Always test
user
your
testing
code against
in
slower connections.
exactly do that. And in the user testing manner, as per Steve Krug, you should absolutely test it on the devices that people have and not on your 24-inch 4K television, because then you realize that the whole application on a smaller screen is not usable, and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's just the slowest connection here may be unpredictable.
Yeah. So defend against that.
No problem.
But you were going to kick us all out, right, Armando? Because you're the guy with the switch.
It's time to go because people have to work.
Yes, we do.
Whoever
We
does
all
that.
have to. Whoever
Anyway,
does that.
Now Armand is the boss, so he doesn't let
Yeah.
people.
So
I'm just
Armando.
learning from you guys. So,
do you want to wrap it?
Yeah, of course. So thank you very much to Leah for joining us. I hope that
Thank you,
by
Louis.
now you don't regret your choice. Okay. To the three
Maybe in
of
the next
us.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Once this blows over, we need to go and visit Indonesia because it's on my bucket list to visit.
Okay, so Miguel is going to move to Indonesia. And on that
Okay.
bombshell, the three of us will return, hopefully, if we don't get fired in the meantime. And thank you very much to all the viewers, all the questions, and see you next time. Bye bye.
See you next
Awesome.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.